Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto. I'm a musician from Northport, New York, and welcome back to another Pentatonix reaction breakdown. I'm pumped for the new album coming out in a very couple days. I'm really looking forward to it, so definitely expect a lot of Pentatonix stuff coming up in anticipation to that, and definitely when their album comes out, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much, and stick around. I appreciate you guys very, very much. That being said, I had a lot of requests actually to do this gold cover. I don't know why I never did. It just kind of never popped up in my recommendations on YouTube, and I just kind of forgot to type it in. So I was scrolling through some Pentatonix stuff, and do you guys pronounce it Pentatonix, or do you say the T in there? I know it's Pentatonix. I know that's for the proper way, but I'm wondering how you pronounce it when you're actually speaking. Do you say Pentatonix or Pentatonix? I'm curious. Totally random, but I do want to know. That being said, if you want to check out my music, it means a lot to me. It's Jacob Restituto, wherever you listen. Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, all different places. And if you're a musician yourself and want to release your music on Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify, all different things, including TikTok, definitely consider signing up with DistroKid. Save 7% on your first year's release, and you could keep all the royalties, and you can get it on all those cool platforms. So definitely consider saving 7%. DistroKid. Let's see what we got. This is Pentatonix Gold.
Proof is falling, let me love, thought of letting you know.
Oh, come on, right off the bat, doing that like vocal chop, man, that's sick. That's cool.
Proof is falling, let me love, thought of letting you know.
That's wild. Oh, sick. So it looks like, I gotta learn the names of these other microphones, but it looks like Scott is using the same microphone that I just bought back here, which looks like it's a Neumann, I believe it's pronounced. I would pronounce it Newman, but I believe it's pronounced, I think, Neumann because it's German. Neumann, oh shoot, what is it? A Neumann, oh man, TLM 103. That's what it's called. TLM 103, I believe. That's likely what he's using, or 102, but they look exactly the same. I forget what these things are called, but they're super popular too. These look like they're probably AKG microphones, and they're probably using these for Scott and Avi because they are probably have a better low frequency range. That's most likely why.
Got up in my teeth. Don't care what you say to me, I'ma bite your feelings out. I missed you in the basement.
Listen to the obvious rawness, and obviously this is live, but the rawness to it. You can even hear them opening their mouth. You can see the little the the lip smack, or the saliva essentially. I like that when you can hear that, because it just adds a little bit of rawness to the vocals. Like it just really feels like this intimate kind of feel.
I missed you in the basement.
Got up in my teeth now.
But your private was a good substitute for you. And if you love me, but you never let me go. Oh, roof is on fire, you never let me know.
I haven't heard the song.
You say you're sorry, honey, but you never really showed. You're sorry, and I can leave the party without ever letting you know. Well,
I've never actually really listened to these lyrics. They're very interesting, actually. Pretty interesting story. I'm curious what you guys, this is totally random, and I'm curious your opinion on this. Do you guys prefer these less produced couch versions, or do you prefer their like newer, highly produced videos? I'm totally curious in your opinion. I would like to know. Don't say which, but say which and why. I would love to know why.
well, I never let you know.
Nice.
Roof is falling, let me love it falling, I just know. Roof is falling, let me love it, thought of it, let me know.
Putting that vocal chop is sick. So what a vocal chop is when you take a vocal or some sort of sample and you actually chop it up, and then you pitch it, and then you change up the order, and that creates this new almost synthetic synthesizer kind of sound, a very distinct sound, very distinct. Vocal chops have a very distinct sound because you create these words and these sounds that you wouldn't typically create with your own mouth, because it's not how we pronounce typical words. But in chopping it up and changing up the order, you create these new type of sounds, but they have a very distinct kind of sound. It's wild that he's doing that with his mouth now.
Roof is falling, let me love it falling, I just know.
Cool, man.
Without ever letting you know. Got up in my teeth. Tastes like money when I speak. Yeah, when I speak. And I miss you in the basement.
The hi-hats Kevin right here are sick. You hear that like
You in the basement. Bodies on the pavement.
So I don't know the exact rhythm that he's doing right there in the sense of whether it's like dotted quarter notes or whatever the case is, but that is a very distinct rhythm for at least hip hop. Very often in hip hop, rock uses it sometimes, but it's like that instead of going like eighth note or 16th right there, it's like this delayed, like almost sort of like triplet kind of feel, but it's I don't exactly know the exact denomination, but it gives a slow motion kind of feel.
Bodies on the pavement.
Slow motion kind of like.
You love me, but you never let me go. Roof is on fire, you never let me know. So you're sorry, honey, but you never really showed. You're sorry, and I can leave the party without ever letting you know. Without ever letting.
Yeah, that bass drop by Kevin right there.
And I can leave the party without ever letting you know. Without ever letting you know. Roof is falling, let me love, falling, I just know. Roof is falling, let me love, without ever letting you know. Roof is falling, let me love, falling, I just know. Without ever letting you know.
So Mitch has a very, very unique timbre of voice, and I've spoken about this in a bunch of different videos, but he has a very unique timbre, which is different than frequency or pitch. Timbre is the way something sounds. He has one of those very distinct. I feel like there's a couple artists that have that, but it's a very distinct, like straight, narrow vocal where it's like very similar to Adam Levine. Adam Levine has it. Adam Lambert has it. Honestly, I'd even like say Freddie Mercury to some degree has it. It's like this very, very powerful, like straight, narrow kind of vocal, as opposed the opposite would be like something like John Mayer, which has this very wide, like kind of like wall of air, as opposed to like a very tight vocal. I had this friend growing up who we were kind of started. I mean, he had been singing for longer than I had, but like we were both kind of growing up as musicians, and I was always impressed by his like straight, narrow kind of sound, the timbre. As I mean, even a good example here, like Scott's tone is a little bit more wider, and there's neither is right or wrong. It's just very unique sounding vocals, and I think it gives the impression that they're singing even. I mean, Mitch has a very huge range, but very often it gives the impression that they're singing higher than they actually are. Especially like Adam Levine and stuff, they are singing high usually, but it's not as high as you would think because their timbre gives the impression that they're singing higher, whereas opposed to like if John Mayer and here's a great example, if John Mayer and Adam Levine or John Mayer and Mitch hit the same note, the same exact note, it would sound like Mitch's is higher, even though it's actually not, just the way that their voices were developed. Nice vibrato in Avi's bass right there. Nice. It's fantastic, man. Really, really cool. I didn't know that they did that vocal chop right there. That was actually really stinking cool. I highly enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. As always, you can leave a comment if you have any other requests. I get a lot of the ideas from the comments and the requests like that. So this was definitely a comment that I read. So thank you for the comment. If you want to check out my music, Jacob Restituto, wherever you listen, and if you are a musician yourself and want to release music, I definitely recommend considering actually at DistroKid, who I personally use to release my music. Save 7% in your first year. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great Restituto day. God bless and peace out.